Sensata Technologies hit by ransomware attack impacting operations. So Sensata said that it was hit by a ransomware attack last weekend. It had encrypted parts of the company network and disrupted operations. So the operations that it impacted were shipping, receiving, manufacturing, production, and other support notifications. They develop, manufacture, and sell a wide range of sensors and sensor-rich solutions, as well as electrical protection components and systems. The company's products are for automotive, aerospace, and industrial applications. Now, I want to highlight this article for a more specific reason other than the ransomware attack. It does not go into details about how they were impacted. Okay. I read it a few times. I couldn't find exactly what happened. However, let's assume that it's like, I don't know, something that was like a really complicated hack. They dotted their I's and crossed all their T's. Let's just assume that. I wanted to bring up this article, not for that reason, but for a different reason. What industries does this company serve? And that, I think, is one of the things people forget about these kinds of hacks and security issues. There is a real world downwind consequence of favoring our developer experience, for example, catering to the lowest common denominator of programmer abstractions and obfuscation, not encouraging programmers and DevOps and sysadmin and executives and so on, not encouraging them to really understand what they're doing. It leaves doors open for these kinds of attacks. And when these kinds of attacks happen, it can disrupt real lives. You might think that the damage is limited to a company, and you might even be happy about it if you don't like the company. But companies serve other companies. Companies serve people like you and me. Companies build products and support distribution chains that power things that you and I take for granted all the time. When we stop caring about the quality, security, and reliability of our work, it actually only harms ourselves. We think that we might have a limited set of damage to a company's like operational profits or whatever. And we go, ha ha ha, a rich person has to pay more because they wanted, I don't know, more work out of me to do better work or something along the lines. Something like, insert any kind of argument you might have. But I think that's a very narrowly scoped argument. This is an example of how an entire supply chain could be adversely disrupted in a way that could impact you and me. And we often don't think about those in a long-term way. And I wish more of us would.